Welcome to our podcast, The World According to Lisa.
And Jim Do.
This episode is The Brooklyn Witch After Dark, The Flower Moon, Part 1.
Yes, it's talking about something that Lisa saw online.
I can't believe I saw this. It's called
MoonFest.
MoonFest. The Greenwood Cemetery is opening the gates at night for the first time to show an after-hours celebration of the moon, and they're calling it MoonFest, and it's the flower moon on Friday, May 1st, 2026. Now, on the break, I was able to sign up, but I'm only on the wait list, and I think we need to be there. They need to invite us. Do you know how many chapters I dedicated to the Greenwood Cemetery?
Well, the Greenwood Cemetery is a location of an important part of the book, and I think it would behoove them to include the Brooklyn Witch.
Yes.
And let us sell copies there, but that's another story.
It could be so much fun.
Yes.
We have to be involved. All right. So what they're doing is they're talking about one of their permanent residents, which we only want to be visitors. John Draper.
Pretty much anybody that's in Greenwood Cemetery is a permanent resident. So I don't think you need to put permanent. Just say they're a resident.
Well, John Draper,
What
in
will be
1840. Let me get this part
Who's a
out.
temporary resident?
He was one of the earliest. He had the earliest photographs of the moon, John Draper, in 1840. So they're celebrating him, and there's this whole thing going on. And I think we need to be there. It's at nighttime, and in the book, she's there at midnight. Remember?
Yes, she does.
So I don't think I read that. I'm going to read that on this shorty here. But they're introducing this MoonFest, and it's the first ever after-hours celebration of the moon, and it's free. It's open to all, but we're on the wait list.
Yes.
So I need to contact someone over there and let them know the Brooklyn Witch needs to be there.
100%. We need to be there. We love the Greenwood Cemetery. It's a big character in the book.
There's so much. I really researched to learn, and I need to go.
And it's an amazing place. So many people were buried there. The list goes on. Leonard Bernstein, Boss Tweed, Henry Chadwick, the father of baseball. Samuel Morris, the inventor of Morse code, is there. You can't really tell which one is his tombstone because it doesn't have his name. It just has ... dash. But that's him. Okay. And, of course, my hero, Charles Feltman, who's the most important person buried there.
Tell the story.
Okay,
You know you want to.
Charles Feltman invented the hot dog. Okay. He was the guy that decided to put a sausage between two pieces of bread and a bun and sell it with mustard and sauerkraut. He's the man. And he had a wonderful business. He did really well, made a lot of money. But he had this guy working with him, and he quit and opened up across the street. And his name was Nathan. And he made a lot more money. But that's neither here nor there. He did pretty good. He has a great mausoleum that's a big part of our story. So
There's a lot in the Brooklyn Witch about this cemetery. So I'm really excited about this MoonFest, and we have to send them a letter and call them and everything. We have to do it. If you know anyone at the Greenwood Cemetery that's still alive, please contact them.
What we're going to do is we're going to haunt them until they decide to give us a chance to go see it.
All right, I'm gonna read this. Okay, so this is chapter 33. It's all Greek to me. It was a dark and stormy night. No, wait a minute. This isn't the start of a cheesy novel. It's my real life. I'm standing outside the main entrance of Greenwood Cemetery at midnight, dressed all in black. Not to look cool. It's just so no one can see us sneaking around the tombstones. Or at least I think we're going to be sneaking around, because why else would I be meeting at midnight, me and my big ideas? Vesna was nowhere to be found. Then she's suddenly next to me. Magic. It never fails to startle me. So here we are, Vesna. What's next? I'll tell you one thing. I'm not climbing this fence. I haven't done it since high school, and I'm not going to start now. Vesna said, "Do not fret. Follow me." We didn't attempt to use the entrance at the front gate. It was locked up tight, and there appeared to be a guard station. Vesna led me around the corner as we walked to McDonald Avenue until we were somewhere in the middle of that side of the cemetery. It was a tree-lined portion of the street just past the bus stop that was bathed in shadows. A huge tree blocked anyone from the buildings on the other side of the street from seeing what we were doing. There was a hole in the iron fence or more accurately, a missing bar in the decorative wrought iron that we can squeeze through sideways. Lately, it seems I'm always going sideways. I can't face any problems head on. This is not a good omen. As I squeezed through the tight space, Vesna pushed aside the prickly hedge that lined the fence. It snapped back and hit me in the face. Ouch! Vesna was a tiny slip of a thing and had easily passed inside. I had to wiggle my curves through a tight spot. I don't want to get stuck. Imagine that phone call. I could see having to get Sean to free me from the gates of the cemetery. Another fine mess I got myself into. Now push, push, push through the bush. Why is my life always a disco song? I finally wiggled my way in and said, Vesna, can you take it easy? You already hit me with the thorn bush. I want to get through this in one piece. Why didn't we use magic to get inside? Vesna replied, because magic might alert certain forces that we were here. We don't want that. Who are we hiding from? I asked. Everyone, she replied as we walked deeper into the cemetery, especially the God booth. We need to stay out of his line of sight. We had slipped past the foliage that lined the cemetery and quickly ran into a copse of trees along Border Avenue. We walked behind the trees to avoid alerting the guard. We ran across the lawn, dodging tombstones until we reached a solitary mausoleum on Gladiota's path. We hid in the shadows to catch our breath. We planned our next move like a SWAT team before we headed down Chrysanthemum Path. It was important to tread carefully as we were walking on graves and could easily trip over a headstone. There was a grouping of weeping willows that gave us cover until we reached the circle of mausoleums. It was almost a nest. I don't know what you call a grouping of mausoleums, a herd, a school. I hope it's not a murder like with crows. We moved from one to another. I felt like the Pink Panther as we crept from one ornate structure to the next. I even walked on tippy toes, and I could almost hear the music in my head. I have to entertain myself somehow. Geez Louise, I'm in a freaking cemetery after all. We moved slowly in the echoing darkness. Moonlight glinted off the polished marble headstones and threw off a faint, eerie light. I heard sounds in the background. At first I thought it was my tinnitus, but that wasn't it. It wasn't music, but it sounded like a sad song, a song sung in grief and despair. Very appropriate background music for a cemetery. Cue the elevator music. It was almost as if tortured souls were moaning in unison. I was scared. Vesna looked at me and said, Speranza, you are hurting me. You are squeezing my arm much too hard. I didn't even realize I had hold of her matchstick arm. I must be squeezing her arm like a blood pressure cuff. Sorry. This is much too creepy for me. I'm trying to be brave, but all I can think of is lions, tigers, and bears. When are we going to see the wizard? Vesna let out a stifled laugh and said, Let us hope we do not come upon any wizards this night. Now, of course, it goes on and on, but that gives away too much information, so
Yes.
I'm going to leave it there. I know it wasn't perfect, but I just wanted to read a little bit
It's tough to
from that section, but it goes on and on with more in the cemetery. There's the Battle Royale is
it's a
in
description.
the cemetery.
It's a big description of the cemetery and a lot of the statuary and things that happen and stuff. So it's really good, very interesting
Very
about Greenwood
important
Cemetery.
pieces of the plot are in the cemetery.
Right, and a very important part of Brooklyn, Greenwood Cemetery. I used to pass it all the time on my way to go bowling.
Nice.
But it's very important. And we just had recently gone there because one of Lisa's mother's friends
Which I
was
used that
passed
section
and was buried there.
earlier in the book when there was the funeral.
Mhm.
So we do go back to the cemetery.
Yes, we did actually go there and walk around, and we saw we like.
I meant in the book.
Yes, but when we actually went and we did look at a couple of statuary, it's the highest part of Brooklyn.
Highest point.
Point in Brooklyn, and it's an amazing place. They have tours. It's interesting. So,
But this at night,
yeah, this would be interesting.
I really need to be there.
Right.
I love the moon. It's the flower moon. I have to be there. So if you're listening, Greenwood Cemetery.
Greenwood Cemetery, send out a pigeon or something and let us get in there. I'm reading their.
We want to go in a good way.
Yes, we're reading their instructions, and it seems a little. I don't know. It says first come, first serve, so you can go on a list, but you don't need a ticket. You just show up and give your name. How's that going to work exactly?
Well,
I
I
don't know.
joined. I'm on the wait list.
I hear you,
They
but
have my name.
think this through. You're going to show up at the cemetery and give your name and say, check the list. Am I on the list for the cemetery?
What section am I in?
Yeah, what's my seats? Get the usher to send me to where I'm supposed to be.
They did even say something about, what to wear.
It doesn't sound
and
organized
shoes,
at all.
That you should
Yes.
wear shoes like.
Well, they put something about the
because
fact that
if
it's
you're walking in the dark, you could trip over things.
right, and it's also not like wheelchair accessible and stuff like that. They said some of the places you're going to go are not going to be.
I almost felt that's what was written in the book.
Yes.
I don't want to give that part away because it's funny, but it's very, when you have to walk on certain areas, you're walking up and down hills.
Going to cemeteries is a crazy thing, and I guess everyone's experienced that at one time or another in their life. But you don't know where to walk, so you're walking on graves, right? You want to be respectful, but you also, it's not always kept so nicely. So with wind and rain and stuff makes potholes, and you could step the wrong way and hurt yourself.
I
It's
think
crazy.
they keep this pristine.
I know they do. Yeah. Well, this isn't you're not gonna go to the not manicured part of the cemetery. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be great if we could go there, and maybe we'll stop off and say hello to Charles Feltman or.
Well, they said here, creative scientists, historians, stargazers are going to guide you through tours, talks, and activities, all inspired by our very own permanent resident, John Draper, who in 1840 captured one of the earliest photographs of the moon.
Oh, of course, that's one of the two things he's very famous for. He was also the great-great-great-great-grandfather of Don Draper, but that's another whole story. He used to drink like him, too. While he was looking at the moon, he would just get a whiskey and call in the redhead. That's another story. So, yeah, I think we would have fun and see if we can somehow finagle getting there.
I think the Brooklyn Witch needs to be there.
I think it would be good for them and good for us. So, Greenwood Cemetery, get on the blower.
So that we just wanted to just do a little quickie.
Yes.
And I'm now going to wrap up The Brooklyn Witch After Dark, The Flower Moon Part 1. We will get back to you. Part 2 will be after we do it.
And go to the Brooklyn
Witch. So
Witch.
that'll be after May 1st.
Go to brooklynwitch.com or liliesvalise.com and check out the book. Check out the other things Lisa has there. She has a lot of witchy stuff if you want to get a crystal or a tarot card and so forth. But
I have to update a lot.
Yeah, but forget that. Just buy the book, all right? I'm telling you now. If you don't want,
that's where my head is right now.
You got to buy the book, or you might end up visiting the Greenwood Cemetery.
I think we're going to leave
and
it
not
there.
in a good way.
We're going to leave it there.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
Wait, what do I say?
Adios, Wiedersehen.
No, bye for now. What did I say before?
No, buy it now. Buy it now and bye for now. Buy the book. Bye.
Okay, ciao
Bye-bye.
for now.